Hey everyone, this is Darkener, and I'm going to go over the Discipline Priest PvP oriented glyphs in Mists of Pandaria. I'm actually on the beta right now, but this is the same as the 5.0.4 patch. Um, Alright, so glyphs. Discipline Priests have the most glyphs that seem to be more PvP oriented, and so there's a lot of tough decisions as to what you're going to use. I'll go through them and kind of talk about the pros and cons. Um, and I'll start with um, the ones that I have currently equipped. So, Holy Fire. Okay, is that a PvP glyph? Well, kinda. Um, so, Disc Priests have Atonement as a baseline. So, having the ability to instantly Holy Fire something is excellent, especially because if it's instant while you're running, you can do that. You can Holy Fire. I think maybe it was buggy at first, but it seems to be working now. I'm on the beta. If it doesn't work on live, it works here, so I don't know what your problem is. So yeah, while you're running, Holy Fire. There you go. And it's healing. It's healing somebody. Next, Glyph of Shadow Word Death. This is the get out of polymorph spell. And basically what it does is it takes your Shadow Word Death, which you can't cast anymore unless you're below 20, unless the target is below 20% health. And it switches it back to um, the spell that we kind of had before. It basically does shadow damage to the target and to the caster. If the target is below 20% health, the target takes 4 times as much damage, and the cooldown is reset if the target does not die. This reset cannot happen more often than once every 6 seconds. So with the glyph, there are, I thought maybe that that reset thing was only for Shadow Priests, but when you use the glyph, you get that as well as a Discipline Priest, and I assume as a Holy Priest. Um, this particular glyph is not available yet on the 5.0.4 patch because you have to actually, it's not available until Mists of Pandaria comes out. But anyway, it works kind of as expected. So, normally when I target something, this Shadow Word Death is grayed out because I can't cast it, but I can, so let's see what happens if I do it. So, the dummy took 8157 and I received 10167. Now the weird thing is that for some reason, I don't know why, it doesn't even kind of hint at it on here, it seems like you take the same damage as the target, but you don't. For some reason you take more damage. Unless it crits on the target, then you take less damage, because even if it crits on your target, it doesn't crit on yourself. So let me do it again. 8159, 10167. So the dummy gets 8158. I got 10167. If you time that right as the mage is casting polymorph, right at the end, you hit your Shadow Word Death. The polymorph goes off. You're polymorphed, but the backlash of damage hits you and releases you from the polymorph. It's situational. If you're not up against any mages, then this is kind of not. It's not that it's dumb, because it's nice to be able to go around and instantly tag somebody. Say someone's trying to capture the flag, and you need to hit them with something where you could hit them with pain because that's instant as well. So, and you can keep pressing it. There's no cooldown. Instant, instant, instant. It just eats up all your mana. See my mana going down? Yeah, so you won't be doing that an awful lot. Alright, next glyph. Glyph of Penance increases the mana cost of penance by 20% but allows penance to be cast while moving. This is really personal preference. All these glyphs are really personal preference. I mean, so I can run and cast it. That's great. I can run, and then when it's off cooldown, because it's on cooldown, I can cast it. I can run, and if someone's attacking me when it's off cooldown, cast it on myself. Very nice. And then when it's on cooldown, I can't cast it. And then I can run and cast Holy Fire, and then cast Penance. So with the Holy Fire glyph and the Penance glyph, you've got a lot of mobility and in your damage. There, and so I'm doing all that. Holy Fire, Penance. I'm just running around. I haven't stopped running. It doesn't change your direction either. So combine those with your DPS assist macros, so you can be running and casting your Holy Fires and your Penance against enemy targets, and then they'll also be doing some healing as you go. Alright, so that's Penance. And a little also demonstration of mixing these two together while running. Didn't have to stop at all. Next one, Desperation. Okay, Desperation allows you to cast Pain Suppression or Guardian Spirit while stunned. If you can cast those, because if you're a Disciplined Priest, you can't cast Guardian Spirit, and you certainly can't cast Pain Suppression and Guardian Spirit at any time, because you're never a Disciplined Priest and a Holy Priest at the same time. But anyway, this is good. The only issue is if you don't really have rogues or feral druids that you're up against, it might not quite be so great to have this. Okay, maybe you can't stun by a paladin, or a warrior, but some of those are a little bit short, and you don't really worry about them so much. So it's not like being stun locked by a rogue. That's really where you're gonna be like, oh shit, I need to be able to hit my desperation. But if there are no rogues, then this is kind of a waste of a slot. As an aside, it would be very nice if Desperation could be cast, or if Desperate Prayer and Spectral Guise. See, this is our survival tier, and Desperation and Desperate Prayer seem like they should go together. It would be really nice if in Desperation you could use your Desperate Prayers and your Desperate spells while you're desperate, because you have the Glyph of Desperation, and it's almost like a tongue twister. But no, Glyph of Desperation doesn't allow you to cast Desperate Prayer while stunned. That would be a lot better, because Pain Suppression has a 3-minute cooldown, and your Desperate Prayer is 2 minutes. So anyway, little thing there. Dispel Magic. Okay, when you dispel magic on someone, it does some damage to them. Not sure if that's necessary. I'm I'm not sure if it could be useful for something. I don't think it would be awesome. Fade, okay, your fade ability now also reduces all damage taken by 10%. That is all damage, physical, spell, all that kind of jazz. And in a PvP atmosphere now where there is no resistances at all, 10% is pretty nice. Fade lasts for 10 seconds, so that's 10% damage reduction for 10 seconds every 30 seconds, which translates to about 33% uptime of 10% damage reduction. That's actually not bad at all. That's actually quite good. In fact, as we go through these, I'll show you why it may be quite good, quite better than something else. Fade. So now when I fade, I'll go down here to fade. It says reduce threat level and 10% less damage taken. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm back again. Okay, now I'm back to taking 100%, well, whatever. The 10% less reduction and damage is gone. This thing's ticking down. Maybe I was being focused and I really need to get out of there quickly and, use my feather. Use my feather. Hit fade. Damage reduction, use my feather, get out there, get out of there, get the heck out of Dodge. I like angelic feather. Sorry, even as a disciplined priest, not using body and soul. Now that they removed the poison cleanse, it doesn't do that anymore. It's kind of not as good as it used to be. Alright. Next glyph. Fear Ward is the same old Fear Ward. It just reduces the duration and cooldown by 60%. That can be helpful, but I wouldn't waste a glyph slot on that. It's very situational. Holy Fire, I went through that already. Holy Nova. This is actually, I'm really upset that you have to spend a glyph to get this, because who doesn't love standing around spamming Holy Nova? Who doesn't love that? And why did everyone go on the forums in QQ about how terrible Holy Nova was and please get rid of it? Thanks a lot, dumbasses. It's awesome. Look, I killed critters. I'm healing random people. They're not even in a raid party with me. Doesn't matter. I'm just healing them. Very nice. Alright, that's Holy Nova. You'll notice that the healing is okay. 5 something and with 11 something crits there with a few people in it. The damage is pitiful. Let's go over here. 2.692, 2.75, and then 5.6k crits. That's really bad. Alright. Inner Fire. Increases the armor gained from your inner fire spell by 50%. Wow. Ooh. That's great, right? Because everyone needs some extra armor. When you're a priest, you're very squishy. Let's see, what's my armor right now? Okay, so my armor, I don't have any inner anything. I'm not an inner anything. So I have 22.79% reduced physical damage. Okay, but my inner fire spell increases the armor value from items by 60% and spell power by 10. So let me go in inner fire here. So this is buffed up. So it went from 22 to 32. Wow, that's a huge increase. I go in inner will, back down to 22.79. Inner fire, 32. So that's pretty nice. It's like almost 10% physical damage reduction. 10% just from turning on inner fire. So this inner fire glyph, man, this must be awesome. Let's try it out. Inner fire. Okay, so now I have the inner fire glyph. So it went from 22.79 to 32 point, and some change. Now if I go into inner fire, 35.9. It was 32 point something, now it's 35.923459. It's like 3 point something percent extra physical damage reduction. That's a glyph that reduces damage by 3 something percent physical damage. That's kind of terrible. That's why I was saying before, wait a minute, Fade reduces all damage by 10%. This reduces physical damage by only 3 something percent. And that took up a whole glyph slot. That's kind of bad. Why would I take that over Fade? Alright, so it's 3 something percent full time, but it's only physical damage, and this is 10% when I need it. It lasts for 10 seconds, and I can have 33% uptime on it. I think Fade is better than Inner Fire. I'm just going to say this, so don't use the Inner Fire glyph. It's terrible. I don't know why it exists, because it's terrible. There are better choices that actually, for the same, if you want damage reduction, take something else. Take Inner Sanctum. Inner Sanctum reduces spell damage by 6%. If you're only going to get one kind of damage reduced, why would you only want, but full time, why would you want physical damage by only 3 something percent? Why wouldn't you take something like this, which is spell damage by 6%? And also you get an extra benefit that if you go into Inner Will, you do get a speed boost. You go from 10% to 16% normal running speed. So there you go. Inner Fire is worse than both Inner Sanctum and Fade. So there is under no circumstances would you ever want to take Inner Fire. This glyph should be deleted from the world, the universe database. I'm just upset that it's taking up so much space in my brain right now, and it's taking up so much time out of this video because it's the stupidest glyph ever. Okay, now that I'm done on that one, Inner Focus. Very nice. Inner Focus. We all know what it does, but I'll just read it. When you cast Inner Focus, you become immune to silence, interrupt, and dispel effects for 5 seconds. That used to be a lot better when people could spam dispel, but now that dispel has an 8-second cooldown, 5 seconds of dispel protection after someone dispelled you is 5 wasted seconds of dispel protection. Anyway, come on Blizzard, just look at your damn glyphs and maybe figure something else out a little bit better. I don't know. Dispel protection should really protect from the next dispel, maybe make that part of it last a little longer. What's wrong with 10 seconds? What's so hard about that? Have everything else be 5 and then dispel be 10. Alright, so we know what it does. It gives us protection from all that jazz. So I'm going to hit Inner Fire or Inner Focus. Look at it, 3. Immune, immune, immune. Alright, it's gone. So basically, you're going to glyph that to spells like Greater Heal or Flash Heal or stuff that you want to use it off cooldown because you want cast protection. Or you just manually do it yourself if you're that badass and you can just manually do it yourself. But whatever you do, please don't run around Stormwind with your Inner Focus spell just sitting there waiting to be cast and making this god-awful noise everywhere. It's just annoying. People really find priests that do that annoying. Alright, public service announcement there. Just cancel it or something, or cast it. You know, who cares? Don't clog up the airwaves with clutter. Alright, like this video, apparently. video will probably get like tons of nasty, nasty comments. Alright, I already talked about this Glyph of Inner Sanctum. It's 6% spell damage reduction. Why would you want only 6% spell damage reduction when you could get 10% anything damage reduction? 6% spell damage reduction, 10% anything damage reduction. 6%, 10%. Alright, so again, I'm going back to Fade and saying, Fade's not bad. Fade's actually kind of good. How often are you in some kind of instance where 100% of the time you're being focused? Okay, you get focused a lot, but it's not 100% of the time. Having a ability that you can cast giving you 10% damage reduction lasting for 10 seconds every 30 seconds, that's kind of better. We already have pretty badass speed, movement increase abilities, and they're a lot faster. This is 60%. Yeah, so that's better than 16%. I can go into Inner Will without it, and I've got movement speed increased by 16%, or with it. Check it out. Here I am. I'm running faster. Okay, I could have had an enchant on my boots, but no, I'm running faster. Well, these don't stack anyway, so the movement speed increase from this, watch, I'll go and I'll do this, and my speed's only 60%. Not sure if you can tell. I'm going to have to reload UI, because I think I have little errors out the wazoo now. I've got add-ons that aren't working quite so well. Alright, so that's that one. Inner Focus, Leap of Faith. Your Leap of Faith spell now also clears all movement impairing effects from your target. These are so situational. Yeah, that's great, because sometimes you go to leap someone, life grip them, and a mage frost nova'd them, and it just goes, and you don't actually get them leaped to you. Well, I'm assuming that this actually cancels the movement impairing effects, then leaps them to you, because it would be stupid if it was the other way around. I'm not even going to equip it because you can't do this. Well, I've got Darken Rogue. I could, if someone would immobilize him, and then I could Leap of Faith him. I didn't mean to disturb your AFK-ness. Your royal AFK-ness. Alright. Go back down there, Rogue. Yeah, not sure. Leap of Faith. Not good enough. I would combine, you know, like they did with Inner Focus for, you know, I would say that we should get a, you know, this Inner Fire separate from Inner Sanctum is dumb. What they should do is take all these glyphs and maybe take a couple of them or a few of them and combine them together. Really, no reason why they're separate. They're so situational that being able to do all these different things, it's, you know. Okay,